When I was 12 years old, God radically saved my life. My name is Tim Ballard. I'm 27, and I want to share with you what happened. When I was about 9 years old, I was diagnosed with a rare blood disease called antiphospholipid syndrome. This was an autoimmune disease that was so rare that it wasn't even in the medical books. It's kind of like the opposite of AIDS. My immune system works, but it starts to attack my red and white blood cells and literally eats me from the inside out. I was 9, but I looked like I was 7 or even 6. With this disease came a lot. 6 major strokes and over 1,000 seizures. I remember one experience when I was in a hospital bed and I could literally feel this presence of death looming over me. Over the course of 3 years, I just steadily declined. And through this entire time, the only thing that really kept me going was a promise from the Lord that He gave me, that I wasn't about to die. It sounds strange. It's not like a voice in my head. It was God. I knew it was. And He was telling me that you're about to walk on a long road. It's going to be a hard road, but it doesn't end in death. And I had an opportunity to go to one of Pastor Benny Hinn's large crusades here in Anaheim. Now, when they were praying for me, I felt this overwhelming presence of God. The Lord actually came to me at that time. I couldn't see His face, but I actually saw His feet right above me. And He said to me in an audible voice that's the loudest sound I've ever heard. It's like a terrifying thunder rolling in a tunnel somewhere. He said, "Timmy, it's not time yet, but it's coming soon." My mom had to go through a lot, sitting by my bedside and just watching me decline, having doctors say to her, you need to start making preparations. You need to start making funeral plans. Start, coping with the fact that he's going to die. Make-A-Wish Foundation got a hold of me, and they gave me this whole thing at Disneyland, and it was basically just preparing me to leave the earth. It got so bad that I barely had any flesh left on my bones. You could actually see the teeth through my lips. I was so bad. We ended up at a Catholic charismatic healing service, and when they were praying for me, I had that overwhelming presence once again, that crushing feeling that I can't even stand, I can't even breathe, and I have this audible voice speak into my ear saying, "I'm going to heal you in 8 days." Those 8 days were probably the hardest. I remember my mom just coming to tears, coming into my room because I was on a constant death watch at that point. They were checking on me every half an hour to 45 minutes to see if I was still alive. It's a total God thing, but 8 days later, it ended up being Good Friday. And once again, I found myself at a Benny Hinn crusade. And I was sitting with my brother, and I feel this wave hit me, like this overwhelming presence of God. I looked at my brother, and he knew. He didn't need me to say anything. He just kind of started crying. Somebody on stage recognized me from the time before, grabbed me from the back of my coat and put me on stage. I hit the floor of the stage, and it was like everything went silent. And I hear something behind me say, "Timmy's felt the power of God, and he believes that he's been healed." And I knew that it was time. I knew that this promise that He gave me was finally happening. And I felt this overwhelming love and just amazing presence of God. And 2 weeks later, we got a doctor's report saying that it was completely removed out of my body. The doctors were making sure that it was still my blood, that somebody else didn't send it. And I remember my mom coming in to wake me up in the morning, and she wakes me up and she says, "It's real. You've been healed. It's completely out of your body." I turned to her and I said, "I know." And she said, "Well, what, did Grandma tell you? Did Dad tell you?" And I said, "No, God told me. He promised me. I'm here today because of what God did for me. He saved my life. I'd be dead for sure if it wasn't for the Lord."